It is the end of an era. Justice Olukaide Ariwoola retires at the mandatory age of 70. He leaves as the 18th Chief Justice of Nigeria after 2 years in office. His was a period marked by controversies bordering on appointments of his family members as judges, as well as into other key positions in the justice sector. But there were also judicial milestones. Under Ariwoola's watch, the Supreme Court got the constitutionally prescribed full complement of 21 justices for the first time in known history. It was also in his time that the Apex Court addressed the Naira redesign issue and recently okayed autonomy of local governments. In his farewell speech, Justice Ariwoola says fair hearing is only meaningful if there are enough judges to hear cases.
It is antithetical to the concept of justice when litigants are made to wait for years in order to have their cases determined. As a justice of the Supreme Court, it was always a sobering moment for me whenever an appeal was called to be heard and a learned counsel stood up to inform the court that the appellant or the respondent was late. He had died. In effect, the litigant had died without his appeal being determined one way or the other.
He further restated the need to limit the number of cases that find their way to the Supreme Court.
Access to justice should not be regarded as uncontrolled and unfiltered liberty to bring all forms of cases to the Supreme Court. It is my belief that we trivialize the institution of the Supreme Court as a court of policy when every form of litigation is able to meander its way to the Apex Court. It also diminishes the judicial importance of the Court of Appeal, that very important appellate court, when every one of its decisions must be reviewed by us here. I dare say that if there is another court that is superior to Supreme Court, many cases will find their way to that court.
Earlier, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice said the Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy is final.
We are not unaware of the threats and noise of reprisal attack by some, although not all, of the principalities affected by the epic and locus classicus judgment of the Supreme Court, who are threatening fire and brimstone in a matter that has been settled and laid to rest finally by our court. The point must be made that their action in this regard amounts to hovering around the principles of contempt of court. I urge my colleagues at the subnational level, the attorneys general, to effect affected by this, to eradicate, to educate and offer sound legal advice, even though it is tried and too elementary. It should be tried and too elementary to everybody that no appeal lies against the decision of the Supreme Court.
The Justice Ariwoola era ends as he takes his final bow, ushering that of Justice Kudirat Kekereekun as the new Chief Justice of Nigeria. Godfrey Eshemoge, Arise News.